Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Jennifer Marievo, where I teach you different ways that you can make money online working from home. If you are one of my subscribers, you'll know that I think the best way to make money online is to become a freelancer. If you can learn highly in-demand skills like video editing, you can sell these services on websites like Upwork or Fiverr. I see dozens and dozens of video editing jobs each day on Upwork. Learning how to video edit can be a really lucrative skill to learn, especially now that there are so many people on YouTube who are extremely successful and don't have the time to do their own video editing. A lot of these YouTubers are hiring people on Upwork to video edit for them. So this video is part of my Sellable Skills series, where I teach you freelancing skills that you can master and then sell on different freelancing platforms. I also have a video on how to video edit for beginners using Filmora, which is a paid video editing software that I personally use and love. I will link you to that video in the description below. However, I know that not everyone has a budget to pay for video editing software right now, so that is why I'm going to show you how to create amazing videos for free using VSDC, which is a completely free video editing software. There's also a pro version, but we're going to be creating a video using the free version, and you can create and edit amazing videos without watermarks using the free version. So before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos on how to make money online and become a work-from-home freelancer. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is download VSDC. I will link you to this in the description below. So you're going to choose whichever version your computer is. Mine is 6.4, so I'll click Download Video Editor. Then once it's finished downloading, just click it to launch and just go through all the instructions until it is installed on your computer. And once it's finished installing, you can just click Finish and it will launch it automatically. So they're going to ask you if you're interested in getting the Pro Video Editor, and if you're not interested, no problem. We're just going to be creating this video using the free version. So you can go ahead and click Maximize so you can see the complete window here. So right now we have the startup page, and there are so many different things you can do with VSDC, but today I want to focus on a sample project of how to create and edit a video. So what we're going to do is just click on Blank Project. And here we're just going to put in our project settings so you can give a name to your video. So we're going to do a fitness video trailer. And then here you can put in for whatever device you're creating it for. So if you have a certain aspect ratio that you want to do or you want to create, you can go ahead and fill that in. I want to, for example, make a video for YouTube. So I'm just going to choose YouTube. And then I will keep all the specs as they are. You could also click on resolution and make it full HD or 4K or whatever. I'm just going to keep it as the default setting, and then I'm going to choose Finish. So this here is the workspace where we're going to be editing our video. At the bottom here is the timeline, and this is where we are going to be putting media that we're going to edit into a video. The first thing that we want to do is we want to add media to our timeline. So what I recommend doing is to put all of your media clips in a file folder. And let's say you have your demo media open in a little folder here. You can open up that folder, and then what you can do is drag and drop the media onto the timeline here. So let's say I want to start off with this intro image. I'm going to click on the intro image and just drag it onto the timeline. Okay, so now that we've added our first clip, I want to show you how we can add music, because one thing it's important if you're making a slideshow or some sort of video, you might want the pictures or the videos to switch in beat with the music. So let's open up our window again with all of our demo media, and we're going to click on our music track and then just drag it again on the timeline. So now you can see we have background music 1, and we have our intro image. And here you can see the time. So you can see that this background music lasts until 34 seconds. So let's press play. So let's say I want to cut the intro image here. and I want it to switch to the next image, I can click and drag to trim this so that the image will only last this long and it will change on that beat. And if you want to zoom up on the timeline, you can just drag on the slider, and that way you can see a little bit more clearly where you're switching and where you're trimming. Okay, so now I want to add another image. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I want to add our next image or video clip. So I'm going to drag clip 1 again onto the track. And you can have this on a separate track, which we call a layer, or you can put it on the same track. So I'm going to keep it on the same. I want this on layer 1. And when we press play, it should switch on the beat. So now I want to change to my next media clip starting right here. I can click and drag all the way to trim this, but that might take some time. And the easier way to do that is under Editor, just click here, Split into Parts. And wherever you have the playhead, and this here is the playhead, is where it will split your clip into 2 or more different pieces, depending on how many times you use that icon. So I'm going to click here, Split into Parts. And now if we click off and you click on one of them, you can see it's split. So you can use that somewhere else, or you can just delete it. So I'm going to click on it again and just click delete on my keyboard. And now that clip is gone. So now we're ready to add our next clip. So now I'm going to drag clip 2 onto the track as well. And if you want, you can add multiple clips onto the track and edit them as you go. So while I'm here, I'm going to add clip 3 as well. And I'm going to add my logo and my subscribe button as well. So I don't want to work with these layers right now. I want to work with them a bit later. So I'm going to move this one over here and click and drag to move these 2 over as well. And we'll position them correctly later on. But now we just have everything in the same window. Okay, so now I'm ready to reposition these clips. Now you can keep your media clips on different layers, but I prefer to keep them all on the same layer. So I'm going to take this clip here and click and drag it down so it's on layer 1. Again, I could just keep it on this layer if I wanted to. But if I had this clip right here, for example, because it's layer 4, it's on top of layer 1, if I press play, it will just switch to this clip. It will cover the clip on the bottom because it's on top. So make sure you arrange these correctly. You could also choose up or down to switch the order. So I could choose this one. If you select the clip, I could choose down, and then it will switch the order. So either up or down. But I like to keep them all on the same layer. It's just easier for me. It's a personal preference. So I'm going to click and then just drag it and keep it on the same layer. Okay, now I want to show you how to add effects to your clips. So we're going to press play. Let's say I want to add an effect to this clip. We're going to go to Editor, and then here you can see there's all these different quick styles. You can click on this button here and see all the different effects that you can add to this clip. You can also go to Video Effects, and then here under Quick Styles, Filters, Special Effects, there are all sorts of different effects that you can add. Now let's say I want to add a black and white effect. I'm just going to click on it, and now you can see that this effect has been applied to this entire video clip. But let's say I don't want the black and white effect to be throughout the entire clip. I just want it to be a part of the clip. What you can do is click right here on the effect, and then that will let you adjust the length of the effect. So right now, if we drag the playhead to the beginning and press play, or you can press the space bar on your keyboard for quick play, And let's say right here is when I want the black and white effect to start. I can hover my mouse over the beginning and you can see that these two arrows pop up, and then I can trim it and have the effect start right here. You could also trim the end as well. And that way, when I press play, you can see we have the color and it will switch to the effect just during this portion of the clip. If you want to delete the effect, you can just right click and go delete, or press delete on your keyboard. Now to go back to all of our clips, we can just click scene 0 or scene 0 here, and that will get us back to our timeline. So now I'm going to split the clip again where I want to change it. I'm going to click it, again, split into parts, and then I can right click and go to delete. If you accidentally delete something you don't want to delete, you can just press undo under the edit tab to undo what you just did or redo. Okay, now I'm going to drag my final clip as well. And now I want to show you how you can add text or elements to this. So let's say I want to add the text on the clip right when it goes to black and white. So now I'm going to click right here on T for text, and you can see here that you can add all sorts of different objects. You could add an image object over top of this. You could add, a rectangle or a line, but what I want to do is just add text. So I'm going to click on the T, then click on text, and then here they're going to ask you object position settings. I'm just going to object position in the timeline from cursor position, so wherever our playhead is, and then choose OK. But again, you can easily edit this later on. And then now we're going to click and drag, and here is where we're going to add our text. So let's say I want to write work hard, and then here you can highlight the text, go to editor, and you can change the font type, the text color, all sorts of different things here. The size, and then to reposition it, you can just click on it and drag it wherever you want it. You could also click on the text and add a brush color, which is quite cool, and that will add a black background. And you can see here that the text is on this layer, and you can click and drag wherever you want the text to pop up, and then adjust the length as well. So now I want to show you quickly how you can add a special effect to one of your images or video clips. So what I'm going to do is click on the intro image right here that I want to add the effect to, and then go to Video Effects, go to Special Effects, and I'm going to click on Glitch. And then I'll keep it as from cursor position, choose OK. And now, again, when we click on the intro image, we can't see the effect yet, but when we click on glitch, we can see that the effect is going to pop up during this part of the duration of the clip. So if I click and drag like this and press play, I have the glitch the entire clip, and I don't want that because that's a little intense. So I'm going to click and trim the glitch so it's just playing throughout a small part of the clip. And then I'll go press play again. And now if we click on scene, we've got a cool little glitch that's going to appear just during the first part of our intro. So finally, I want to show you how you can add multiple layers at once. And let's say at the end, I want our subscribe and logo to pop up at the same time. I'm going to show you how you can work with multiple layers. So you can click and drag to highlight both of these, and then click and drag so that they're going to pop up right here. So let's press play. Well, obviously right now we've need to make some adjustments so these aren't overlapping each other. So what we're going to do is click on the subscribe button, for example, and you can click on these arrows on these nodes here to resize it. And then also you can click either on the preview window to highlight it or click on it itself right here on the timeline. And I'm going to do the same thing and just make this a bit smaller, this logo, and then reposition it wherever I want it. And I could have this pop up first, the logo, and then click and drag to extend it so it, goes to the end of the clip. And then the subscribe button I could have pop up a bit later on, a little bit after it. Again, I'm going to drag that down here and make that a bit bigger. So let's press play. And you could readjust that so it pops up whenever you want, and then readjust the length of it as well. And finally, let's say at the end of your audio, let's say that we wanted this to end a little bit earlier here. I'm going to click and drag, and let's say these were going to end earlier, so I wanted to fade out the audio, and I don't want to wait till the very end. What you can do so the audio doesn't cut off is click on the audio track and then trim it to where you want it to end. And we don't want it to cut off like that. So what we're going to do is click on the audio track, right click, go to audio effects, go to amplitude and choose fade out. Then just press OK. And you can see here that this will add a fade. So if we press play, you can see it softly fades out, and you can click and drag, just like we did with the effects, to make it a slower fade out. Okay? So this is basically a very basic tutorial of how to use VSDC. I know it seems a little bit tricky at first because there are so many different options, and if you have the budget for a software like Filmora, I really recommend it because it's much more user-friendly and easy to edit, but this is still an amazing and very powerful software that you can use for free to create your videos. Now that we've finished our video, what we can do is export it. So to do that, we'll click on Export Project, and then you can choose if you want to export it for YouTube, for Instagram, for PC, web. I'm just going to click on web and then choose to MP4. And then just click on Export Project. They will say that you use premium features in your project, but you don't have to upgrade at all, okay? Just click on Continue. And then that's going to export our project for us. And you can see right here where the output file is, and this is where it's going to export the file, and we can watch it after to see what we've created. So once it's finished exporting, we can go ahead and watch it, locating it in our file folder right here where it saved it to. And you also might want to save the project file within VSDC if you want to make any edits later on. So to do this, just click on Projects once again, and then you can click here, Save Project, and then go ahead and save this as whatever file name you want, and click Save. And that way you can go ahead and open a project and work on this project again later on to make any edits that you want to make. So that's it for this basic tutorial of how to use the free video editor VSDC. If you like this video, please click like, and also make sure to add any comments in the description below if there's anything else you want me to teach you about VSDC or anything else related to video or audio editing. And also let me know in the comment section what other sorts of freelancing skills you would like to learn that you can go ahead and sell on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next tutorial.